Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Wong. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So, Ellie, is it recording now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, good morning.
Yeah.
Mr. Wong, can you please state your full name first?
Okay. My name is Clement Wong, from Wawasan Gas in Durian Berhad. Basically, we are the supplier and vendor for oil and gas market in the term of product like instrumentation, fitting, gasket, mechanical seal, and we also do product integration. Yeah.
Okay. Integration. Okay. Okay. So Ellie, you can start with your questions first.
Okay. The question is, when the company establishment, the date of.
Okay. Wawasan was established in November 2016. We originally started in KK, but later we moved to Miri, and in I think July 2017, and then we later expanded to 3 branches, which is in KL. We have an office in Putra Hai, in Selangor, and then 2018 we opened up our branch also in Johor Bahru.
Then what type of market structure that associate to the company or business?
Basically, our company, okay, you look at, what kind of structure? Structure is basically, we are a supplier and then integrator, system integrator that put a component together, make panel, like overhead control panel, support panel. So, of course, when we started, because our previous team experience is more on oil and gas and petrochemical. So I can say our business maybe 80% is 80% coming from oil and gas industry, and we have other industry like power plant and general industry.
Okay. The next question is.
Okay.
That's all, Ellie?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay. What are your goals toward your company as a manager? The goal.
My role.
Ah.
I'm the general manager for the company, which I run the overall operation from sales, marketing, operation, finance. Overall, I'm the one of the key person in charge of the business. Of course, we have our director in Miri, but the day-to-day operation is mainly I'm with the person who run it.
Okay. And the company have a competitor?
Yes, definitely we have competitor. It would be ideal if we can find a business there is no competitor, that would be great. But I don't think it's possible in this world.
Yeah.
Can we know?
So who are your competitors?
Okay, of course we have competitor like one of the key product that we have. It depends on our principle, because we hold many principles. We are the distributor of industrial fluid component or instrument and mechanical. We have many principle. Like one of the principle, which is Crane. Crane is a US a New York stock listed company. Like their product is more on instrumentation, like tube fitting, instrument valve, sampling panel, regulator. So like if we look at this Crane product, then of course our main competitor will be Swisslot, Parker, and we have other, those are coming from US because our Crane product is coming from US. Those are US. Of course, nowadays with technology advancement, there are many other Asian supplier or manufacturer like from Korea, Japan, or China. So in terms of tube fitting, there will be more than 50 competitors. But in Malaysia, probably we can say limited to key competitor around 5 or 6. It depends on the brand and the category. If you're looking at the US brand, of course, you will have Hope. Is our principal. Then we have Swisslot and Parker. But if you look from the Korean side, then you will have Hilot, Superlot, Decalog. So it depends on the market. It depends on the market segment, product segment, which one that you'll be competing.
Okay.
Okay. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, so my question is, what is the company's goal actually, Mr. Wong?
Okay, if we look at our company goal, like what we use to present it to our customer, we want to be a solution provider. We want to become a customer solution product. Of course, the product is one of the key things that we would like to carry. But when you meet your customer, of course, our one priority is to sell the product that we carry. But however, we should be looking at what challenges or what solution the customer is looking at, so that we provide a total solution to them. So that is why we have few product, key product, like we have tube fitting, tubing, and we have regulator, we have double plug and bleed, and then we have even instrument gasket, and so that you have the full basket to provide a total solution to the customer. So the company, in short, the company goal is to become a solution provider to our customer in the field of instrumentation and mechanical.
Okay. So what are your strategies to achieve the company goal?
Our strategy, of course, is to look at what the customer need or pain point. What are the areas that customer will be looking at, so that from there we will provide a solution. Like our goal is to become a product. Nowadays you can't keep on selling product. You need to provide a solution. It's a solution provider.
Correct. And what are the challenges faced by the company in both demand and supply aspect?
I would say in terms of demand, of course, basically, I would say based on customer, and the customer is also dependent, like oil and gas, right? If you look at oil and gas is also dependent on the global market, whether there is a supply and demand. So if let's say, like currently or last year or beginning of this year, when you had the COVID, all the fuel consumption is being reduced. So the oil price drop. So when the oil price drop, and it's not economic feasible to run new project, so of course your demand of your product will be substantially reduced. So in terms of supply, I would say supply that will be subjected to the principle, their production capacity. As far as so far in our 3-year experience, So because our principal have been in the market for many years, some of them more than 30 years, 40 years, they are or even 100 years. So their supply so far, we don't foresee any challenges in able to meet the lead time the customer require.
Okay. So the supply is basically quite good lah.
The supply so far, I think, is no issue.
Okay.
What we were more, especially since beginning of this year, is the demand. The demand due to the COVID pandemic, and I would say not only us. I think everybody in the market is facing that.
Yeah. Correct. So how does the company manage to overcome those challenges?
So if you look at every company, what we call here, I'm not sure whether you're saying demand. Is it demand? Is it in terms of the company revenue or what? What kind of demand that you will be specifically that you'll be looking at? Demand in terms of, because demand is from the customer, whether have a project, require a product. Is that all? It's a revenue. It's a revenue that your company need to meet. So for us as a company,
Revenue.
Okay, for us as a revenue, like company, right? Like company revenue. You already have currently our company we have 15 people. So 15 people employee full time. Of course, every month you will have operational costs. You need to pay their salary, you need to pay the rental, you need to pay the utility, all these bills. So then you need to have certain revenue to sustain the business. So like for example, our market or our company initial is more on oil and gas. So when oil and gas is down, so like current environment, I don't think the oil price or the project will just pick up out of a blue moon or suddenly next year. So what we will need strategy is we look at the different market segment like oil and gas down, petrochemical down. So we look at what other general industry that we could take. Like we are now going into a general industry like semiconductor or non-oil and gas into like power plant. We go into like semiconductor. We go into like food and beverage. Especially like food and beverage. No matter what, the economy is down or in terms of oil, people still need the food. So the manufacturing still need to keep going. So it's basically to diversify ourselves so that not dependent on one market, go into other market. So like for example, another thing is like because of the US-China trade war, I think you are from economy, right? You are doing economy or what?
Yes, economics.
Or faculty you belong to is
business economics.
Business economy. So I think you also should be quite familiar, like US-China trade war. So US forced many manufacturers to move out of Malaysia, or no, to move out of China. So they will also have certain spill off and coming to Malaysia, like especially semiconductor contract manufacturing. So we also is a what we call is a demand opportunity for us. So when you look at the business, you cannot be look at on one angle. You have to look at your product basket, what product for what market, and you need to look at what kind of market or industry that you need to, or you can get revenue of.
Okay. So, what is your advice on how to succeed in today's business, Mr. Wong?
There is so you should be sharing because you are the newbies on the block, right? Coming up
Yeah.
to learn. What would be your learning from what we call this lecture, a textbook?
Textbook.
I would say in today's business is so what we call uncertain. So if we look at today's business, I would say of course you need to look at what the customer require, what the market require. So we had to based on your capability, based on your the people, the team that you have, their capability, experience. So how can you use that to leverage and to penetrate and to become relevant in the marketplace? Like for example, now even though the pandemic is infecting in oil and gas, but you look at today's news, all the technology company, the share is going up so high.
Yeah.
This morning, if we open up the news, right? US, because of the technology, the tech company increase in share price, and now they have the highest number of billionaire in US, even at this current pandemic. Like today, if we open up the news, they have 800. They have 800 billionaire been generated in US just because of the technology, tech-related company share price increase. So I think I would say in today's business environment, you need to be agile, able to change and adapt to the market condition. And then you need to find yourself relevant, whatever product, whatever service, is it relevant to your customer, to the market? So if there is a relevancy requirement, and then you can adapt yourself using your existing talent to still provide a quality product and service to the customer will buy from you. So you will be able to sustain your business.
Okay.
You cannot be like in the old day lah. I mean, you do one thing, good, continue doing.
Correct.
Mm.
Okay, next question is what are the inputs used in the company production process?
You say company production, what kind of thing that you be company production? Because we are not in the manufacturing, but production process, of course, you see like what we do. Our flow is like this. It's coming from the product is coming from overseas based on customer need. When customer all place an order to us based on their requirement, then we will order into US. And the customer, then the principal will supply it to us. And then we will deliver it to the customer. That is purely on product trading. If we talk about production process, if you look at the production process, let's say for example a panel, you need to build a panel. I'm not sure you know what is a panel look like. A panel is it's like for example, if you take for example analogy is like our TV. Let's say you have a TV, you have a TV screen, inside there you have a lot of electronic component. So some of the component maybe is our product. Like for example, when we build a panel, we will have a stainless steel structure enclosure, and inside you will have all those component, PNID, flow, whatever requirement engineering. So we will do those and then build together. And if from that perspective, we will say like panel fabrication production flow. So if from that perspective, so we will have to look at like design and engineer to customer requirement, and then you need to meet the customer specification, and then procure as per customer specification, and you build, test, install, and commissioning. So that will be the whole process of what we call in my company when we come to doing panel fabrication. That will be one business model or process. And the other one, of course, the more simpler one will be like supply. It's purely on supply. Whatever customer want product A, we buy product A and deliver as per specification. So I'm not sure whether here are you looking at manufacturing production or what?
We were looking at the manufacturing production actually.
Or you are looking at the manufacturing production. So if we, let's say at the manufacturing production, then it will be more relevant on our panel fabrication and production.
That panel.
It's basically like you build a panel as per customer design and deliver test.
Okay.
Of course, on that part, you had to buy, and the product need to meet the customer specification.
Okay.
So your this thesis, you are looking more on from this manufacturing plant or manufacturing factory or what? Because there is a differences from here. There is a different project. Because for us, we are more on the supply, fabrication, and business. So because you have many, depending on your thesis, is it? Depending on your thesis, or your thesis is looking at the manufacturing factory, or you are looking at supply, or you doing like contractor. So you need to divide. You need to be distinguish about this. Which thesis you'll be looking at?
Okay. We actually looking for a company that have production, like they made something.
Okay.
So it's kind of like manufacturing also, if I'm not mistaken.
Manufacturing.
Yeah.
So what kind of manufacturing, like for example, Milo or what? Because those are, like for example, Milo will be mass production because they don't do anything. They fully doing the Milo. If they do the like margarine, they will the full everything they do. They don't do much. They only do one thing: keep on manufacturing. So like for us, we do production, but our production is to make our product enjoy as per customer specification. So customer specification today, because of their process requirement, could be one type. Another one in the customer may be doing, even though the brand is the components still say the same, like a panel, wellhead control panel. But another customer, we can be doing the same thing wellhead control panel, but because of their system requirement, inside the specification is different. So we are more tailored or custom made to customer specification. It's not like those mass production. One product is a standard, it go up in the market. Like for example, Milo, right? Milo will be because the buyer don't go and determine what content or ingredient inside. The ingredient is already predetermined. It's there. People will just buy. So these are the two different perspectives.
Okay. Okay. So how do you as a manager determine that the production is maximized?
Of course, we would look at like to maximize the production. Of course, you will have to look at do you have all the required ingredient component to make the product. So of course, you will have to look at is there any delay in getting the raw material, or is there any defect or is there any production defect or kind of thing. So you really, let's say you already have certain specification that you want to build, you have to build according to the spec. Otherwise, the thing come out is not as per your spec, then you cannot. So I think in the short run, definitely you'll be, I mean, you have to maximize, I mean, like look at it and see what are the things that you'll be looking at, so that you don't have a lot of waste. So that will be the thing that I would say we need to look at day to day lah.
How about in the long run?
In the long run, of course, you need to look at people competency training, so that you'll be more efficient. And of course, the other one will be like the equipment, the tools. What are the things that you can increase? Automation. So what are the things that you can improve? So that overall, you don't have to use so much labor, or how can we optimize? The whole thing can be repetitive, and you can plan whether this one can be used for the next one or no rejection. I think that will be the longer term. Initially, yeah.
My last question is, what is the company's definition of short run and long run production?
Oh, production.
Yeah.
So is it in terms of, because this one, in terms of production, is like what kind of scale in production that you'll be looking at?
It's like what you are doing with the control panel just now. You said because I saw your website and I look at the products there. The product is quite a lot actually, but that is from the supplier, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you guys installing that the material they give, is it? Or you just
basically
supply?
like if we talk at the panel, right? So basically based on our customer requirement, specification, and then we buy component according to that can meet that specification.
Yes.
Then we will build, we will assemble, we will put it together and test it.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So that, yeah, that will be like, for example, then you had to bang the thing, you had to put the component together. So that will be our, I mean, I'm not sure what you call like short run. Short run will be like short term or what? Short term or what?
It's kind of like a short term.
So because each project depends on the complexity of the, of the unit or the panel that we are producing. So there will be like a duration. I mean, you can calculate based on the size. You can say, oh, this one I need 3 weeks to assemble. I think I say I need how many people, or I need 5 people, 3 weeks to assemble this thing. So that will have a time frame, because each unit there will be a cost associated to it. So at production, you have production cost associated to it. So if you can shorten that production duration, then it's a profit to you, ma. So of course, if let's say at the longer run, because if you longer run, so if you can cut down the efficiency and less mistake when they build the thing, of course they will increase your profit, ma. Correct or not? Yeah. So because if let's say you have 5%, 1 person is 100. Per day is 500 per day, ma. So you say, 3 weeks is 21. So if it's 21 times 500 is the amount. But if we can cut down to 2 weeks, it will be only 14. That means you will save the money. So that will be your, I mean, how you plan it on. Then with that, then you can produce faster or more cost effective. Then you can make your product more competitive and can win in a competitive world nowadays.
Okay. Good point. Good point. Okay. So yeah, that's all from me. So Ambrose, next question.
All right. For my question is, what the strategies used by the manager to maximize company value, depending on the goals of the organization?
You mean, can you repeat?
For my question is, what the strategies used by the manager to maximize company value, depending on the goals of the organization?
Okay, you see, when we come to this, what we call strategy, we basically, like for us, we will have annual plan, like beginning of the year or towards end of the year, then we will do a forecasting planning strategy for the next year, because you need to work out what is the revenue or the sales revenue that you want to target, because that is very important, so that you need to plan the manpower required to sustain to get that revenue. So I would say one of the strategy, definitely we will need to have a business plan on the company for the upcoming year, and then you work towards it. So that will be one of the, because like for example earlier I shared, if let's say this market like oil and gas down, you cannot keep on still working on oil and gas, man. So you need to have a company plan to diversify into other non-oil and gas industry. So whatever that you do is you need to have a plan to execute it. And in terms of company value, I would say now, because of the internet, everybody can search any product from the internet. So as a company, to make yourself relevant in the industry, you need to look at how can we increase your value in the supply chain. So like for example, if customer buy something, you can easily buy from the internet, you still want to do that business, I think it will be tough. But what you can do, if the customer is looking like item A, item B, want to join, couple them together and supply as one complete unit. So then you cannot buy that from the internet, but that is where your value came from. You can buy component A, you can buy component B, then you put together, test and deliver. So I would say company value relevant in the market, move up the value chain. We need to move up the value chain so that you can differentiate yourself from the general market availability. So I would say that will be important.
All right. For my next question is, what concept and theories of microeconomics are useful for manager to make the right decision for the organization?
When we look at micro is basically like what you have in your surrounding and what is the local economy or the country, whatever determine. So I would say the concept that we use is basically very straightforward. Of course, you had to look at what kind of margin, what kind of profit, what kind of value that you can bring it to the customer. Because whatever as a company survival, you need to have minimum revenue or pay to sustain your company so that you can take care of your employee. So I would say it still come down to what is the kind of margin, what is the kind of profit, or what kind of thing that you want to make. You still look at the overall financial background, the company, and also the customer, and also the market, that you can determine the requirement, or how can you fit into the market. So like for example, if it's a balance, it's a balance between, like for example, if your principal, like I'm not sure you have studied about the AR, account receivable, account payable.
Yeah, we had.
Creditor and debtor.
Oh,
so if let's say your supplier, give you creditor 60 days, you only need to pay your supplier. But if your customer can pay you 30 days, which means you don't have to have any money to do the business, right? Because whatever that you need to pay to your supplier is longer creditor compared to what you can collect. So that means with that saying, is basically company don't have to come up with any money because your supplier already finance you to do the business. So with that, you can have lower margin. But if in another way, you have to pay your supplier cash, but your customer only pay you in 30 days, 60 days. Then from there, you will need to look at higher margin because you need to come up with your own money, finance, to finance a job because the customer is not going to pay you so fast. So these are the things that it's not straightforward. You can have very simple decision. Is depend on a few factors. Of course, one of them is finance, future part, collection part, and also you need to know whether the company that your customer is financially capable or not, or are they stable. We don't want to supply to someone after they take the good and the company close, or they are not able to pay you. So these are the things that we need to look at the financial status of the customer and also supplier.
Thank you, Mr.
It's not like very straightforward in the market or in like study. You have one concept or you have one theory to apply.
Yeah.
It will be a lot.
Yes.
Okay, that's all for my question. Thank you, Mr. Wong.
No problem.
Okay.
So year now is which year? Which year are you in now? Year 1 or
year 2?
Oh, year 2. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Why
you should
have,
do. Huh? No.
You have internship, is it, at your company?
Yeah. Okay. I think. Of course, that will be an area that we will be also looking at. Because we can definitely also look at that. Because we also want to look at the reason why I asked this. I'm not sure have you your LinkedIn?
No.
Have you second?
No.
And what about the other one that you are Talent Corp? Have you Have you heard about Talent Corp?
No. Never. I never heard of it. I heard of LinkedIn only.
Oh, okay. No, Talent Corp, I think you should go and yeah, that is something good, I think. If you go to this, you just Google on your Talent Corp, Talent, TALENT, Talent Corp. So why I say Talent Corp, since you are talking just now about the internship, right? If let's say Talent Corp is just like Talent Corp Malaysia, talentcorp.com.malaysia. Talent Corp is actually a government. It's a government body under the Prime Minister Department to formulate and to facilitate initiative to address the availability of talent in the market. It's a government body. It's a government body like yours now. As an undergraduate, you're considered as an undergraduate.
Yes.
Undergraduate, you can go and register yourself, whatever it is, and then if there is like, I'm not sure you need to have internship or not. It's part of requirement for your course to have internship.
Yes.
So you can register yourself, put it in yourself, put your resume, whatever on Talent Corp, and they may have company to look for you also.
Oh.
Then
Okay.
that will be one area. That will be one area lah. Because you can just go to this Talent Corp website, check. Then you can have more choice for you to choose what you want to do. Because why I say this one, because only lately I also come across this. So we also trying to reach out to them. Then we will come up with our own internship program, so they can also recommend. And this is one of the area for undergraduate, and they also train graduate. So especially some of the graduate who have not secure job, you can also through here, they can also provide some training. They can also help you to link up with certain company to find job for you. They even have those return talent, like return talents. There are people going overseas, work in big company or whatever. They have a lot of industrial experience. Because of certain reason, they need to return back to Malaysia. But they do not know what is the local requirements, or they can also through this, then this Talent Corp will also be able to find the relevant job opportunity for them with the high pay they require. I think it's a good way that you can, because this one I only come to know lately.
Okay, thank you.
So the other one that I think what I share, because if you go to LinkedIn, there is one why make it a bit interested to me. There is one a Sarawakian person, a lady. She have a lot of these what we call is a software engineer, but he help a lot of people to get job via LinkedIn advertisement and to recruit job. And she can get, I mean, it's from Kuching. It's undergraduate and software engineer. I think you can go then. She can help people to look at like how you write sales resume, how you advertise yourself. I can share with you later, Joshua.
Okay.
Then you can also learn some of this, because your new batch of graduate, undergraduate.
Yeah.
Beside books, internet, social media is one of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. That's all for the interview.
No
thank you,
problem.
Mr. Wong.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Hope it's valuable to you.
Yes. It's very, very valuable actually.
Okay.
Many information.
Yeah.
Good one.
Okay.
Good one.
Yes, sir. So very
Bye. Bye.
information.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.